Also part of this roiled issue is the suggestion that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. And this is all caught up inside these new conspiracies coming out of the Charlie Kirk murder, which appeared at first to be very straightforward. It was a guy called Tyler Robinson. He was caught on video jumping down off the roof where it looked like he had the easiest access to assassinate Charlie Kirk. And now it feels like all those things are up for grabs.
Well, let's delineate the sides here. So that's not the consensus. The Justice Department still very clearly believes they've solved this crime. They have their culprit.
Tyler Robinson.
It happened. I mean, he shot Charlie Kirk because his lover is a trans or in the process of. That's the Justice Department narrative. Now, significant MAGA voices are coming forward and saying that's absolutely untrue. Not only is that absolutely untrue, but this is a cover-up. It's a whitewash. It's a cover-up. The Trump administration is telling a bald lie.
Okay.
Tyler Robinson, and this, I am channeling what they're saying. I believe all this is nutso. But their view is that Tyler Robinson is a fall guy. They set him up.
Right.
That Erica Kirk, the wife,
the widow
is, let me see if I can extrapolate this properly, a sleeper agent somehow connected to her participation in a Donald Trump beauty pageant. So Trump and Erica Kirk go way back in
because she was Miss Colorado, right?
Establishing this sleeper relationship. She's activated to monitor Charlie Kirk, and then appears to be complicit in the MAGA view, or the view of some of these MAGA voices, in her husband's murder. But the real culprit in the murder is Israel. And they have murdered Charlie Kirk because he was expressing doubts about Israel's actions in Gaza, and then apparently about to break with Israel and the general Republican Party in a much more dramatic way. So Charlie Kirk was therefore, at that point, taken out. Now, the implications here, I mean, I think the largest this is, again, let me repeat, this is real nutso stuff. But I will say, never discount nutso on the right.
Well, and also I went down a spiral of this stuff, and there is so much of it out there online. I mean, it's all over the place.
No, and it's picked apart. It's real conspiracy stuff. I mean, it's like all of these conspiracy. Nothing is what it should be. Every detail is compromised by another detail. Real rabbit hole stuff.
And also, ironically, what's interesting is that at the head of the FBI, you've got Keystone Cash Patel, as we call him in the Daily Beast, and you've got Dan Bongino as his number two, who were enormous conspiracy theorists before they got into that job and have had to wind it back in.
Trump himself, of course, is a significant conspiracist.
Right, the birth certificate for Barack Obama being one of the first conspiracy theories.
So, but this is, so the implications, the most dramatic implications are these people, these MAGA people, all of them heretofore pillars of the Trump movement.
Of the base.
Are now saying, you're lying, you're involved in a cover-up, you're guilty. and then this doesn't go, you killed Charlie Kirk, essentially. So we have a set of these kinds of breaches in the MAGA wall.
Which is why this is interesting and why we're taking it seriously, because there are lots of conspiracy theories out there that we don't pay attention to. But this is interesting because it suggests a riff in the MAGA base.
Yes. So and they come together, the nature of the rifts that are occurring here and converging in Charlie Kirk. We have the instance of his death. You made that up, cover up. Why? Because you, the Trump White House, are complicit in Israel's savage attack on Gaza, continuing attack. And we, these MAGA voices, no longer accept that. So, and this is a big breach. Support for Israel has been a pillar again of the Republican leadership and of the evangelical movement. And so, with Trump at the center of it, Trump has been. Trump does not say no to Bibi Netanyahu. It would appear, and actually these MAGA voices insist on that. One of the other points is, and they keep repeating this, is that Bibi Netanyahu is said to have said something like, I run Trump or I run America.
I think a lot of people are saying that.
So, and there's an enormous umbrage. Tucker Carlson is very much, how could anyone say this about my country? I can't tolerate that. This is a humiliation.
So let's talk a little bit about where is Tucker Carlson on this? Because this has gone from being one of those fringe conversations to suddenly the big MAGA voices, Megyn Kelly, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, are now discussing this.
Nick Fuentes, very important.
Nick Fuentes, who's gone on a tirade about Erica Kirk, saying that, nothing was normal about the way she behaved at that memorial. He was saying that there was something strange and odd about the whole thing, and he wasn't buying it. But Tucker is one of the foremost voices in this community. You've known him for years. You've known Tucker for years. I remember him when he was on MSNBC as a contributor when I first moved to America. Where is he on all this now?
Well, he's a central part of it. And I have known him, and I've liked Tucker, and we've had a long relationship, over 25 years, basically. And I've spent time talking to Tucker about many of these issues, not directly about Charlie Kirk, but about certainly about his relationship to Trump and his relationship to evangelicals, and I'm pretty well versed in Tuckerism.
Is Tucker a Christian nationalist, which is this movement that's emerging out of Charlie Kirk's death?
I think he is aligning himself with Christian nationalism, and we should define that because it's actually in the process of being defined. This was a notion that really never existed or existed only on the fringe, and now is moving into the center, into a MAGA, again, another pillar of the MAGA movement. But I think you should let's look at Tucker, and he's representative in this way, as someone thinking about what comes after Donald Trump.
Oh, okay.
And Tucker has political ambitions. I've spoken to him at length about this, whether he will ultimately run for something.
Do you mean president?
Yes, I mean, well, political ambitions. Yes, but
including what is that would be more interesting than what he's doing,
including running for president. Yes,
only meaning that it's hard to imagine that being a senator or being a governor would be as interesting or certainly as lucrative as what he's doing now.
But never say never. As one, Tucker is still a relatively young man. Were he to suddenly think I have a political future, how you would triangulate that?
To getting there. Okay.
I mean, nobody wants to be a congressman; they all want to be president.
Right.
So,
what does the senator say to himself when he looks in the mirror? Good morning, Mr. President, or good morning, Mrs. President. I should throw in there too.
So anyway, so Tucker is looking at this at the field of play. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that if you're Tucker Carlson or and anyone else with designs, you have to look at JD Vance.
Who has very quickly moved into that space.
JD Vance is obviously, in terms of the Republican nomination in 2028, the front runner. He has all of the advantages given to a vice president, and perhaps given his youth and his financial backers, perhaps more. So then the question is going to be, how do you, and he also will likely have the support of Donald Trump.
Will he, though?
Donald Trump.
I was going to say that's a mixed bag.
Yes, and Donald Trump
poison chalice of
Donald Trump is, as we know, a bitch. So we don't know what he will do. But let's just assume at this point.
And I would like to point out that on previous podcasts, you have specifically said the last thing Donald Trump wants is to be followed by a Republican.
Yeah, no, he will undermine whoever it is.
Exactly.
But if you're looking toward that nomination, you got to say, well, how do we what's the edge on JD Vance? And if you triangulate Vance to be on the wrong side of Charlie Kirk, so let's reconfigure this here, that the mantle that you want is not the Donald Trump's mantle, it's Charlie Kirk's mantle.
And let us not forget that JD Vance flew Charlie Kirk's coffin back from the University of Utah, the hospital in Utah where Charlie was treated, to Arizona where he lived. Usha Vance emerged.
That will shortly, if it has not already, become part of the cover-up.
The conspiracy. There was no coffin. It wasn't true. It wasn't Charlie in there.
Exactly.
But they had Usha Vance descending the stairs of Air Force 2 with Erica Kirk. They were holding hands. Erica Kirk, I think Usha Vance was the only person that got a shout out, apart from Donald Trump and Charlie, in the 30-minute speech that Erica Kirk gave.
Because they are co-conspirators, of course.
Of course.
So,
can I raise one thing here, which I find interesting about Charlie Kirk, is that the way he was referred to at the memorial was almost as if he were an orphan. Where are Charlie Kirk's parents? Who are Charlie Kirk's parents?
Now you're part of the conspiracy.
I'm a part of the but I'm fascinated that Erica didn't give them a shout-out during her speech, which I thought was impressive. I thought, stand up 11 days after your husband's been murdered, very impressive. Nonetheless, to me, it was very odd that you didn't mention his parents, who have lost a son. You don't mention his sister.
Well, she was the sleeper agent put in to separate Charlie Kirk from his parents and from his family. So therefore, obviously, we've disappeared them.
I have never read Lord of the Rings, but I feel like all these conspiracy theory people have read Lord of the Rings, and that's the fundamental thing, that it's the sort of fertile territory for these wild conspiracy theories.
But look at this again, and I will say, not so, but look at this as on the political playing field. Mm-hmm. And the political playing field is looking for the MAGA movement post-Trump.
Right.
Someone to lead the MAGA movement who is not JD Vance, to separate it from Trump, basically. And so among the things that you have now, you have Epstein. The MAGA people are obviously rabid on the Epstein issue. Now you have the Charlie Kirk issue, the cover-up of St. Charlie's murder. And also you now have, which you have never had before, this breach on Israel. And these are major things, and they are a serious breach with Donald Trump.